Hello Gemini, welcome to Lit Intuition Tarot. My name is Kay, and today I'm going to be doing your weekly love reading. So, guys, this is a fairly new channel, and so I would appreciate, if anything resonates with you, go ahead and like the video and become a subscriber. That would be great, so I could kind of get some of your guys' energy signature in the channel and help me pick up on what's going on. And, I do weekly readings, weekly love readings, and sometimes I throw in some random things to mix it up. So while I shuffle, just want to bring to your attention that in the description box below, you can find a tentative schedule of when I'll be posting here on YouTube. Also a list of the decks I use, instructions for how to donate to this channel if you're so inclined, and a link to my website where you can book a personal reading through Zoom or pre-recorded readings with me, or order one of my personalized avatar birth charts, which are just kind of like a cute way to, see at a convenient glance where all the important placements were when you were born. Just a few shuffles left to go here. But anyway, I'm working on the ultimate love reading for you guys tonight, Gemini. Now, this may apply to romantic relationships, which is probably most common, but it can also refer to family connections, business connections, or friendships. So please keep that in mind. Keep an open mind. Reverse roles if necessary, and if this doesn't resonate for you, please check your other sign placements, or just give me another chance next week. And like I said, if you like or subscribe, it'll be easier for me to pick up on your energy for future readings. So, okay, Gemini, let's get started. I'm using the Spellcaster's Tarot. It's a small deck that I usually use for clarification, but I was moved to use it for your love reading tonight. So, we'll see what we got here. In the future, too, if you don't enjoy, or, well, I don't know that anybody would enjoy it, but if you get bored while I shuffle and lay down the cards and so forth, feel free to fast forward to where all the cards are laid out, which is when I read them. But it doesn't take too terribly long. I really like this spread because not only does it provide a lot of information, but it also looks really pretty when it's laid out. And just so you know, while I will read the energy of the cards that relate to the other person involved in the connection, of course, I do not try to directly, telepathically connect with the other person to read their thoughts and specific emotions regarding you or the situation. I just read the energy on the cards. And if you're interested as to why, I do include an explanation in my full mission statement on my webpage, litintuition.com, which is the link to is below. Okay. I'm going to leave this last card, which is the final outcome, face down. I haven't seen it either. We'll leave that a surprise for the end of the reading. Okay. Just putting my cards back in the box real quick. So Gemini, in the past for this connection, we have the Knight of Swords. So that I see as Gemini or Aquarius energy can also encompass Libra. So these are kind of dark, so it's kind of hard for me to see without my glasses. Bear with me here. For the past of the relationship, therefore, this person may have come kind of rushing towards you, or you toward them with, a realization that there's a reason for this connection. Some kind of truth came forth. This person may have even been sort of like recklessly romantic, like, you're the one, you've always been the one, and might have kind of taken you by surprise. So that may kind of occurred in the beginning stages of your relationship or recent past. Now looking at the present, we have the Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So Gemini, I have to take all the other cards into account, and I'm kind of trying to work all this together and tie it together intuitively. Okay, So with the Eight of Pentacles as the present state of the relationship, one or the other of you could be working on career, focused on career and building up finances to support the connection, if it's like a marriage or if you live together, that type of thing. Alternately, it could be that you're both, the relationship is in a state of progress, and so it's kind of under construction where you're both contributing what you can and trying to build a strong foundation and add to that, and start to work toward real commitment and real longevity. Now with you, however, sitting in the Four of Cups energy, which is Cancerian, by the way, you may be currently feeling sort of bored or apathetic with the way things are. You may feel like you've been rejected in some way. So with this Eight of Pentacles as the present state, it could also feel like things are so focused on the material aspects, and that's not just money, but just earthly aspects in general, that there's a complement, or excuse me, let me get my words straight, an element of the connection may feel like it's missing to you, particularly an emotional one, since we are talking about cups. Your partner in this relationship is coming across as the King of Swords. So if this is the person that was the Knight of Swords, or kind of how the relationship began, rushing in, sweeping you off your feet, maybe you kind of got used to that level of excitement, and so now you're sitting waiting for this person to continue to show that type of enthusiasm and energy. And this person, in King of Swords mode, it's not that the King of Swords isn't, can't love or anything like that, but he's very fair and no-nonsense and rational and tries to make practical decisions based on his mental processes instead of his heart, head over heart. The King of Swords can also be seen as like a military or law enforcement officer or person, and so they might be coming across as kind of unfeeling to you at this time, Gemini, or just more focused on rules and regulations, what needs to be done. Okay, that's about what I'm getting from that. Now moving on to the positives of the connection. You and Libra both threw me for a loop, because for their positive they have the Five of Pentacles and for you guys you have the Three of Swords. Now it's not impossible to read that as a positive, of course, it's just not natural, because the Three of Swords represents pain and heartbreak and sorrow. Okay. Let me tap into this for a second. This is kind of strange, Gemini, but I'm picking up, and I'm picking this up more from you because you're sitting in Four of Cups energy, that a positive to this connection may be that, your heart is already so broken or tired, perhaps from a previous connection, that it's almost like you really can't go, there's no more way down to go. Like you can only go up from here kind of energy, like, this person maybe can't really hurt you that much, or maybe it's for the best if they're kind of cold and not trying to be too emotionally intimate, because then you're kind of able to nurse your broken heart. That's the only way that I'm picking that up from somebody specific, that it's kind of like, well, screw it, yeah, I'm hurting, but that's a positive in the sense that, like, well, can't get any worse. If that is your situation, I apologize that you're feeling that way, even though it's not my fault. I can feel that kind of pain, and it can be a dark place. So, moving on to, I'm sorry that sounded so cavalier. Moving on, but we do have to. So we've got the Page of Cups for the negatives of the union or connection. Again, a page in that position, as Gemini had. One or the other of you may be emotionally immature, younger than the other. You may be sort of idealistic and, head in the clouds, or wearing rose-colored glasses. The Page of Cups can be very artistic and creative, and so you may be very One or the other of you may be very imaginative, like dreaming of, kind of seeing the relationship like you want to instead of how it is in reality. For hopes, Ace of Cups. I'm feeling sadness from this reading, Gemini. And I know Gemini, I have a Gemini moon and Mars, and I know that people with Gemini in their charts can be very, quick to bounce back, very resilient, because a lot of their mental processes, we're able to analyze our emotions, and sort of, once we understand them, it seems like it's easier to deal with them in a sense. But I'm feeling pain from this reading, and I really felt it from the Ace of Cups in the Hopes position, because it's saying that even though, most hope has been lost, there's still that, one wellspring of, maybe love will bloom, whether it's in this connection or another. But since this spread is about this relationship, one or the other of you may be holding on to the possibility that things can be renewed. And oddly enough, I can pick up that vibe almost more from the other person in the connection. Like I said, not trying to read their mind or emotions, but even if the other person is busy focused on work and very set on thinking about things rationally and not being, ruled by their feelings, they might be doing that in a sense to gain control so that a safer kind of love can bloom, So for instance, if my partner has a broken heart, if they're still stuck on someone else, and if they're, everything's just work, and we don't have time for romance, maybe if I just make this much money and can support them financially, or maybe if I can just be a strong father figure sort of person to this other person in the connection, then that will leave a safe place for love to bloom. Okay. That was a little heavy, but moving on, we've got aim. What to aim for in this connection. And it's the Ace of Swords. So Gemini, if you are this Four of Cups person, which according to the reading that would be your position, although roles can be reversed, you want to aim for honesty with your partner, and of course they want to do so with you. With them in the King of Swords position, they're probably more than willing to do that. But although you don't want to overwhelm this person with a lot of negativity, it is important that you tell them in a clear and calm way maybe what you're going through, even if it's too personal to really share some things, even just so far as to say, maybe I need some help. Maybe I should go to therapy, or maybe we can do this or that to make things easier, but this has to be handled because this is where I stand, and it's a real truth for me that we need to take into consideration here in this connection. What to avoid? The Six of Cups. Okay. Gemini, if you have a torch in a flame in your heart still for a past person, I'm not saying you do, but for the person that this resonates with, that could be the cause for your malaise and your broken heart, of course, and feeling like you missed an opportunity. And if that's the case, perhaps this isn't a romantic relationship we're dealing with this King of Swords. But whether it is or it isn't, being with this other situation, while it might provide safety or security, it might not be what's healthiest, but that's none of my business. I guess I'm just saying what's coming to me, and I'm kind of going off track because I was looking at the Six of Cups really for what to avoid. You want to avoid being nostalgic about happier times in a situation that didn't work, because although it's good to have the positive memories and not dwell on the negative, usually one turns into the other, and then you find yourself sort of stuck in the past, ruminating about what might have been, or how you would have liked things to have been. And if you're trying to participate in this other connection that's the main one on the board, or should have been, then you don't want to be focused on the past and reliving that pain and expecting things to be the same. And so I'm sensing almost like a frustrated patience coming from this King of Swords now. I know what you've been through, and I've been there for you, and I'm trying to work hard to make things right. But you may still be sitting in a little bit of a regretful, nostalgic type of energy. And so Spirit is saying here to try to avoid that. Now, it's normal to grieve, and it's okay to feel our feelings, but it's the getting stuck or feeling like, you can't move on unless a certain thing is resolved. sometimes we can't get closure from the other person in the situation. We have to find a way to find that closure ourselves and to heal without the other person contributing. So not every, ending ties up happily, of course, and sometimes we just have to deal with that. So I'm not preaching at you or telling you what to do, Gemini, but these are just things to take into account that the cards are telling me, and so I'm passing on the message. For environmental factors, we have the Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Could be also Taurus or Virgo, but I tend to see the queens as cardinal, the cardinal signs of an element. So the environment, it's like there's fertile ground here for something to grow. There's stability, there's nurturing, it's like I'm seeing a field that's all tilled and like ready to be planted. It may take a while, but the Queen of Pentacles is like a very stable, nurturing energy. It's about growth and stability and generosity. So that is in the environment surrounding. For other people who may be influencing the union or connection, we have the High Priestess. This is major arcana for Pisces and Cancerian energy. Doesn't have to be relevant. There could be a spiritual counselor or mentor involved, someone like a priest or even a therapist, although the High Priestess is generally more spiritual than that. But there could be someone that, one or the other of you feels comfortable telling their innermost secrets to. This person could be very intuitive and be helping to guide one or the other. I don't sense any kind of malicious vibe from it, like, this High Priestess is the other woman or someone who knows more about your relationship than they should and is going to take advantage of it. No. It just shows that one or the either of you have, wise counsel somewhere, someone who will keep their mouth shut and not gossip about your business and who's willing to provide spiritual guidance and support. So, I was suggesting that might be something that, you could look into if you are struggling with the end of a previous relationship. So that could even be an indication that might be something that's entering your life. Or your other person could be consulting with someone as well, because they seem to have a pretty stable head on their shoulders, not soldiers. And, okay. The final outcome, the Knight of Cups. Scorpio, Pisces energy, sometimes Cancer. This is for like the next 3 months is what I'd ask Spirit to show. Okay, so I see this as being very positive here, Gemini, and if you watch my other readings, you'll see that I don't sugarcoat, so I'm not trying to make the best of this. Obviously, there are some issues in this relationship, some emotional difficulties, some communication difficulties, perhaps, maybe being on slightly different pages in this connection, but I can see this King of Swords, who perhaps originally came in as the Knight of Swords, as trying to appeal to you with, like, to your more emotional side. Maybe coming to you, taking a break, taking the night off work one night and showing up with, well, it's almost winter now, so I can't say a picnic basket, but, showing up with your favorite restaurant, carry out food for the two of you, or taking you out to a special dinner or a special date, maybe giving you a gift like jewelry or candy or flowers, just something kind of romantic. There could even be an apology involved, or, if you start out with this Ace of Swords conversation where the two of you connect and really start to get honest with each other, then that could turn into like a more intimate, emotional type of understanding. It's kind of like a message coming in at the end saying, love is here and love is going to arrive, but there are some things that you might want to deal with first and heal. And obviously 3 months isn't a lot of time, but you can go for a whole year being stuck and miserable, and I've done it over an ex, and you just don't get it, and you're trying to heal, and you're trying to get closure, and you're trying to be strong, but that person or that situation just keeps kind of coming back and nagging you, and you have dreams about it, and then you wake up one day a week later after the year, and it's like, wow, a weight is lifted, it's gone, I mean, you have to do the work, but the point is, sometimes things just, they are what they are, and eventually something just kind of flips, and you wake up in the morning and the sun seems brighter and things taste better, and you realize that you're over the worst of it. And I'm kind of seeing that Knight of Cups this way. It's like it's the heralding of like a fresher, more emotional energy getting involved in the union. That's what I see for you this week, Gemini. Again, if you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if it didn't resonate with you this time, come check me out again or check your other placements. I appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you guys again soon.